Welcome to the 266 Express. I'm John Noblet here with Donna Green. Donna, who do we have with us today?
Today we have Jim Bolz. He is the director of the Public Works for the City of Sanger. So
welcome, Jim.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, this is the first time I think I've met you.
Yes, I think so. Today.
Jim, tell us a little bit about yourself and your background. How long have you been with us?
Okay, I've been with the City of Sanger. I started in July of 2004, so July will be 20 years here. Prior to that, I worked for the City of Louisville. I started there in September of 87. In the wastewater field, I have a Class A wastewater license. I have a groundwater license also that I obtained here at the City of Sanger. Initially, I came in to the City of Sanger as a wastewater operator, and then I transferred to the water wastewater superintendent, and from there I moved to Public Works director.
Sounds like you missed a meeting along the way, and they just...
missed several meetings along the way and attended way too many along the way also.
He was in the wrong meetings. That's what it was.
Yeah.
So for, John and I pretty much have a good idea of what you do, but for those people who have no idea what the Public Works Department does, can you give us kind of an overview?
Yeah, the Public Works Department is responsible for the water and wastewater departments. We also have the street department beneath us, and then we also track vehicle maintenance and fuel usage, things along that line.
Okay. It's quite a bit of stuff. I know we recently started as a city replacing water and electric meters along, and water meters is in your wheelhouse there. Tell us a little bit about that project. Where are we? When do we expect it to possibly be done?
Yeah, the city is contracted with Aquametric to replace all the water and electric meters in town. As of yesterday, we have replaced a little over 2,700 water meters. All of those are residential meters. We have a total of about 3,650 water meters in the city. Of that, about 200 of those meters are commercial meters. We are going to install all the residential meters first and then get to the commercial meters. We still have about 700 residential meters, and then we will begin with the commercial meters.
Now, we know that's going to help the residents a little bit, be able to do some other things as we bring things online. But during the testing phase and everything, are you guys seeing some positive results there and maybe some help in how you'll be able to handle your workloads in the future?
Yes. The meters we had in the past that we're replacing currently were outdated. They had an 8 to 10 year life expectancy when they put those in, and some of those meters are approaching 20 years in age. They do not pick up well on their reading, so a lot of the time the guys spend a lot of time going back to those meters because they don't pick up with our mobile collector on the read. So we go back and then manually read those, and there at times we were manually reading over 1,000 meters per month.
So now all that's going to be coming into City Hall, and you'll be able to see when you have maybe a leak or a problem sooner, right?
That is correct, and there's going to be a customer portal with these meters where the customers can get online, look at their usage, see things, but it also notifies us if we see an abnormal continuous flow going where we're able to notify the customer that they potentially have a problem on their side.
That's great. That's going to be an exciting new tool for us.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah.
I know, speaking of water, the City Council recently approved your new water conservation and contingency plan. So tell us, what is that? What does that mean?
The water conservation and drought contingency plan is required to be filled out every 5 years by the Texas Commission on Environmental Quality. What it does, it encourages entities to be good stewards of the resources we manage. And then it sets limits such as time of day and day of the week watering during extreme drought. And then it also sets 5 and 10 year goals for us to reduce water loss. And as I said before, it's required to be updated every 5 years, but it's kind of a model that tracks your water usage and where you're going. Because we look back at the past 5 years when we're filling this out, we can see the growth, we can see the increase in water demand that we have, and it allows us to set goals and look forward in planning.
With your experience, do you think that Sanger does better than average or about on par with other communities when we talk about water conservation and drought contingency plans during the summertime and things?
I think we do better than most. The last couple of years, we've had some pretty extreme dry months where for extended periods, we did not tax our system to any extent during those dry times. Now, as growth continues, and we are seeing a lot of growth in this town, the demand for water is increasing. And so looking ahead, we will have to get out in front and plan ahead to make sure we stay ahead of the growth and development that is going on.
Now, Jim, I know water and wastewater, those aren't the only areas. We talk about streets and roads a lot. Right now, we get a lot of questions about Bells and Marion and Jennifer Circle and some of those other areas that do need repairs and do need constant repairs, really. Tell us a little bit about this partnership with the county on the improvements and what we think the timelines are.
Okay, yes. The city is partnered with the county in a 50-50 partnership in the funding of repairs for these roads. For Marion will be the first road that we will do on that. Funds have already been allocated on the county side, and the city will match those. The city will be responsible for the engineering portion of the Marion Road project. But Marion Road, as everyone knows, with the growth in the Sanger Circle area, it receives an immense amount of traffic on it, and it continues to become a problem area in that area, on that part of the road out there. But as we get this, we're going to have that engineered to expand Marion Road, to redo it, to put drainage underneath on the sides, and to widen that out for us. So we do have an engineer in mind to begin the design portion of this project.
And that's less even a repair or major repair. We're really talking more about reconstruction of those roads.
That is correct.
Yeah.
Yes, that is correct. We do have funding that we've asked for this upcoming budget to kind of maintain the road and get us through until these major projects begin. But we do see a lot of truck traffic on those roads and things, concrete trucks and things of those things like that because of all the construction, Sanger Circle, and they really do make a road, fall apart quicker.
Yeah, and these projects, we're very grateful to the county for including us in their bond initiative. Because,
yes, we are.
Because this is not just a few $100,000 or $1 million. We're talking 12 to 13 million on each of those.
That is correct. That is our initial cost estimate was about between 12 and 13 million, and that's been about 2 years ago. So we have been looking at this and just trying to get funding available for it.
Yeah, and for people that still have questions on that, I know, Jim, that we're in our budget cycle now here at the city, and not only have we been allocating the funds to get our portion of that project done with the county, you've also continued to add a high level of maintenance funding towards kind of keeping those roads drivable and safe. And even though that may not be noticeable all the time, those are still top of our list to maintain until the reconstruction happens.
That is correct. We have allocated funds to maintain those roads until that time. We do have a small staff in the street department. We have 3 individuals total in the street department right now. So that does kind of present a problem at times trying to get people out there when you're having to flag and do the work itself. So a lot of that work we typically contract out, and then we help them assist them as best we can.
So in addition to Bells and Marion Road and all of that, we also have a street utility maintenance program, right? So can you tell us a little bit about that and how that works?
Yeah, the SUMP program is going to be a citywide program, and we have selected Kimley Horn to begin that analysis, a street analysis and grading process of all the streets within town. And what they will do is they will do a study on our roads throughout the town, and then they will assign a grading to them and prioritize which roads need to be worked on first and in what order. And then they will present packages to us so that we can fund those packages first, because the funds are not available to do everything at one time. So they will bring those back to us in packages, probably in $100,000 increments, and then we will be able to pick and choose depending on which has the greatest need and begin that process.
Yeah, and those packages, the council, I'm very excited that they're supportive of your program here because we know those packages are just the beginning. That's, it's not just spending $100,000 on the streets. Yeah. That's the engineering and the design of those that need to go. And this is in addition to the existing program, that nothing's going to change there, right?
That is correct. We've been doing this existing program for about 5 years. In the last 5 years, we have rebuilt a subgrade and repaved 120 linear blocks of streets. This year's current projects, we are going to work on the Duck Creek Road from the service road extending all the way to the west to Tejas. So in Duck Creek in its entirety within the city. We're also going to rework Brook, Laney, and Benjamin, as well as Brook Glen and Fairfield along Keaton Drive there this year.
That's great.
And I will take that project to council within the next month or so. We've already contacted our contractor, got updated quotes, and we will get them on the schedule to begin that this summer.
We're going to give you all the hot topics, Jim. We know that water is always a hot topic. We know there's been some chatter online about several things, but we know most of that is tied to the TCEQ. It's tied to a lot of the regulations that are laid down by the state and the federal government regs on that. Can you tell us a little bit about that, including the water quality report, which is coming out soon? Tell us a little bit about that process and a little bit of what that report tells us.
Yeah, we're required by the TCEQ to fill out an annual water quality report and mail it to all our customers. That's due out by July 1st of each year. That report is filled with information about the quality of your water, the various chemicals and things like that are in the ground, minerals, things of that nature. There's reports on all those. They have levels assigned to them. We have not exceeded any levels. Our water quality report looks great, but we take the information throughout the year. We're sampled. We do daily samples at all our entry point samples. We do samples out within the city. We take samples to the laboratory twice a month as required by TCEQ. So they take all that information, compile it. It's all part of the report. Plus TCEQ has contract samplers that come quarterly to the city and pull samples and send them off for analysis. All those samples that are used are taken or used to complete this report. So,
and that's important to our rating, correct?
That is correct. We have to do that, but we are recognized as a superior public water system as rated by TCEQ. We've maintained that rating for the past 4 years.
Yeah, and that certainly doesn't diminish that at times all systems have some quality issues, turbidity, discoloration.
That is correct. That is correct. Yeah. All cities have something. We do E. coli samples. That's the ones we take to the lab every month. We take 2 sets of 5 samples 10 samples to the lab each month. But you can get a bad sample very easy. They just from when you sample, but you can touch a lip of a bottle potentially, and have something on your hand you didn't know about, and contaminate a sample. So it's a very tedious process. We bleach the faucets and just try to make sure it's not windy outside where we don't pick up an airborne something to contaminate a sample, but it does happen.
Yeah, you should be extremely careful with the water system. We understand that. What is the best way if people still are experiencing an issue or have an issue? What's the fastest and best way for them to report that?
The fastest way would be to call Public Works Department and just ask for me, and I would be glad to talk to anybody about this, and stuff if they're experiencing problems, and then I would immediately dispatch someone to their residence, pull a sample, and things of that nature. But the fastest is by phone by far. If email, a lot of times if it's after hours, I won't see it till the next morning, but I will get in contact with you if you prefer that method.
Yeah, I appreciate that you and your teams are so responsive on those
Yeah.
issues.
You got all the hard topics there.
Yeah, I do.
Yeah,
We're
that
going
was
to get them all
that was
out of
good.
the way,
Yeah,
right?
absolutely. So, well, something more fun. So, are there other key infrastructure projects or things planned that people might need to know about?
I don't know if I'd call them fun, but there are projects underway. For instance, and everybody's dealing with this in this town, the 455 project is currently still ongoing and will be going on till summer of 2025 when that's completed. But we have selected a contractor to redo the I-35 project for the city, relocating water and sewer lines. The electrical department's already well along in their process. Water and wastewater lines will begin moving within the next month. And that project, it will not be as lengthy, and I don't believe it will be as impactful on the residents as much as it will be on travelers going down the highway. Now, if you travel to and from commuting back and forth to Denton, you may experience that some, but it will not be as impactful on the residents as the 455 project is currently.
Yeah, we just encourage everybody just not to leave. Just stay here.
Just stay
Stay
here.
in
Stay in
Sanger,
Sanger.
shop, eat, do all those
All
things
those
there.
things.
And on the travelers, maybe the same thing. Maybe we just put another sign up on the exits that
Yeah.
says dead end road ahead.
We can fill up
like
the
that.
Holiday Inn real quick.
That'd be it would fill up the Holiday Inn very quick. So you, Jim, out of all the departments really, because of the streets, the water, the wastewater, coupled with the growth of the city, and we've talked about the growth a lot with various people. How do you manage? Because I mean, those are all areas under your purview. How do you manage those and prioritize those? What kind of your system?
Prioritizing sometimes, and it's an old saying, the squeaky wheel gets the grease, and that happens a lot of times. But we try to be mindful of what's coming up, pre-plan. We have resources available to us to help us with some of these projects, whether it be consultants or engineers. But it is a day-to-day battle that we deal with every day. And I won't say it's easy. It can be difficult sometimes, but I don't take it home. When I leave here, it stays here, and I'm a different person when I get home. So,
Thanks. Your wife thanks you for that. So, why don't you tell us about some recent successes and accomplishments of the Public Works Departments?
I think one of the primary recent successes, and if you drive this town at all, you'll see this, is a brush removal program. About 18 months ago, we implemented this program, and prior to that, if you drive down any street, there was typically a brush pile or two or more piled along a curb. We chip the brush internally with a small staff, and as time dictated or allowed us to do it, because the Parks Department primarily did it at that time, and they have other responsibilities with Porter Park and the ball fields and the downtown park and the mowing and everything else, getting ball fields ready for play, things like that. So it was hard to stay on top of that project, and so we have went out with a contract and have a call-in system. So if people will call in, report their brush, usually it is chipped on the Wednesday following. So, for instance, they chipped brush throughout town for calls that they'd received the prior week. We do not have any backup on brush like we did there. 18 months ago, it was not uncommon to have between 80 and 120 residents waiting to have their brush removed, and the piles were unsightly. All that is improved. It looks much better. Have a good grasp on it. And Republic Waste, who does our trash service, also does our brush removal.
There's no additional charge on
No additional charge to citizens, which is rare these days. Most cities, if you have brush, they have a scheduled day, and then there will be a fee attached for it, or you're paying a fee throughout the year for this. City of Sanger does not charge a fee. It is a convenience that the City of Sanger offers its citizens.
Awesome.
So we know we talk a lot again about police and fire and their jobs and what they do. Extremely busy crews most of the time, and super busy during an emergency. But we don't talk a lot about public works and what they do during times like that. What as I know that y'all recognize really in most systems as first responders for events like that. Now, what does public works? What is their role during events like that?
Public Works' role is we will, remove down trees, keep the roadways clear, try to sand. We have people monitoring the roads, driving in roads prior to storms or during the wintertime, checking for ice, drivability. On the water side and the wastewater side, during those hard freezes, for instance, Winter Storm Uri, we did not lose a customer. We maintain that. We have a SCADA system where we can monitor our wells, our tank levels. We had people in round the clock during those times, ensuring that we were delivering our product to the customer. During major storms we have, and I've had a few of those that I've worked through here. Generally, we will pull all the crews together: water, wastewater, streets, parks, all the crews together. As far as if we're cutting trees or clearing roadways, setting up barricades. We've had bricks come off fronts of buildings where we've had to, until the building could be inspected, it was unsafe down on Bolivar Street, where we've had to barricade basically a block, just to keep public out until those analyses could be performed. So it's just, it's all hands on deck generally, just due to our staffing size. If you get all of us together, parks and wastewater and water and street department, you're looking at a total of about 20 people. So it's not a large staff, and sometimes, if you have a large storm, you're looking at what looks like an insurmountable workload, but when we all come together, we can generally get through it in a few days.
Yeah, and that's right. That's just natural disasters and things like that. That doesn't count like special events. I know, Donna, you lean on Public Works a little bit. Is that right?
A lot.
Yeah.
Jim makes a lot of Freedom Fest happen for sure.
Yeah. 4th of July and things like that. Easter egg hunt that Parks does. We have a lot of guys that are willing to volunteer their time, and a lot of them are, it's unpaid time. They come in and they share their day, and it is helping. But most, and I will say 90% and maybe more than that, of the employees here are very civic minded, care deeply about the city. They're committed to Sanger, and they like to give back.
Yeah, and I've seen that across the board. The staff here is truly this is not a job to them. It is it's a commitment to community, and they take it seriously. And I'm appreciative for that. Yeah,
I'm 100% appreciative. Yeah. Without the staff, there would be no events because
there wouldn't be anything.
There wouldn't be anything. There wouldn't be anything. But there definitely, in my world, wouldn't exist.
Yeah, trash off's another one that the guys work quite a bit. Twice a year that we do the trash off at Railroad Ball Field, and that's another benefit that the city of Sanger offers that I don't think you'll see anywhere else, where citizens are allowed to bring their debris and trash, old couches, whatever, and dispose of them at no charge to them. And city staff helps with that and helps loading and unloading and pays for all the dumpsters and the disposal, and that's a benefit to the citizens.
So, Jim, is there anything else that we haven't talked about that residents of Sanger should know about the Public Works Department or major projects or just anything?
Major projects I have ongoing that I haven't mentioned yet. We're installing some backup power generators, some standby generators. We one on the police station, one on the fire station, one on City Hall, one on Well 6, which controls our radio system for a lot of dispatch and things like that, emergency services, and then one on Utility Road pump station. And what that will enable us to do, the Utility Road and the Well 6 in particular, during power outages, prolonged power outages, you can still maintain water supply to the citizens and maintain above 20 psi of pressure, which is required, and we'll be able to do that days on end. provided we can get diesel to those units, and I don't think that'll be a problem. But and then the others are just in the event of a major emergency, we would have a center that we could go to, with power to it, that we could all come together and plan from.
Jim, I'm going to put you on the spot. I get to spend a little bit of time with you. We've had several conversations back and forth over the years, and I'm very appreciative of what you do for the city, what you contribute to the organization, your experience. Not just your work experience, your life experience. Is there a word of wisdom you could share with the citizens of Sanger for us?
I don't know if I have a word of wisdom. What I will say is, and it's about attitude, and a cloudy sky is no match for a sunny disposition.
Well, there you go.
Yeah.
And so I try to go through my day being happy and cheery.
I appreciate it.
I do too, and I think I've always seen the happy side. I don't think I want to see the other side.
It's not pretty.
Well, Jim, we thank you for being here with us today. It's been a lot of fun.
Thank you.
So, I'm Donna Green.
I'm John Noblet. You've been listening to the 266 Express. Thank you for listening in to what's going on in our small little North Texas town.